Welcome to the Daredevils of Niagara Falls. Approximately 3,160 tons of water flow over the falls every second. That's about 600 tons over the American and Bridalveil Falls and 2,500 tons over the Canadian Horseshoe Falls. Despite the strong current of the Niagara Falls, there are still people who did their devil's act to the waterfalls. In October 24, 1901, Annie Edson Taylor became the first person to survive a trip over Niagara Falls in a barrel. Her motives were financial, but she never made much money from her adventure. Bobby Leach was the second person to go over Niagara Falls in a barrel, accomplishing the feat on July 25, 1911. He spent 6 months in the hospital recovering from injuries he sustained during the falls, which include 2 broken knee caps and a fractured jaw. In July 11, 1920, Englishman Charles G. Stephens was the first person to die attempting to go over Niagara Falls in a barrel. He equipped his wooden barrel with an anvil for ballast. Charles tied himself to the anvil for security. After the plunge, Chuck's right arm was the only item left in the barrel. In July 4, 1928, Joseph Albert Jean Loscher was the fourth person to go over Niagara Falls. He survived the trip over the brink in a large rubber ball. He is the first to go over in a rubber ball. In July 5, 1930, George Katikis, along with his pet turtle Sonny, took the plunge over the falls. His barrel would survive the ride relatively unscathed, but would be caught behind the falls for over 20 hours. When the barrel was recovered, George Katikis was dead, apparently suffocated. Its pet turtle Sonny had miraculously survived the trip. On July 15, 1961, Nathan Boya, or real name William Fitzgerald, was the first African American to go over Niagara Falls. He went over the Horseshoe Falls in a metal ball he helped design called the plunge or spear. Performing stunts on the falls could only be performed with permission. He did not obtain a permit to do its stunt and was arrested and fined after completing it. In July 3, 1984, the first Canadian to conquer the fall was Karel Sosek. Karel survived the plunge. Soucek was fined $500 for performing the stunt without a license. Soucek's custom-made barrel was 9 feet long and 5 feet in diameter. It was bright red and bore the words "Last of the Niagara Daredevils" in 1984. In October 1, 1995, Robert Obokraka rides a jet ski over the brink of the Horseshoe Falls to help promote awareness for the homeless. His parachute did not open and Robert ended up promoting better parachutes. He plunged to his death and his body was never recovered. Nik Wallenda, self-described as the king of the wild, he is known for his high-wire performances without a safety net. He holds 7 Guinness World Records for various acrobatic feats, but is best known as the first person to walk a tightrope stretched directly over Niagara Falls on June 15, 2012. The feat was broadcast internationally. The walk came after a 2-year legal battle involving both sides of the Canada-US border to gain approval. For the walk, he was required to wear a safety harness for the first time in his life. July 9, 1960, a 7-year-old boy named Roger Woodward is swept over the falls after a boating accident. He survives with only a minor injuries and is rescued by the Maid of the Mist. He is the first person known to go over the falls without any sort of protection and survive.